We know there's going to be ES8, but what the fuck, man? There's ES9? What is this for, man? For the boss of the boss or the boss's boss's boss? Holy crap. Is there going to be an ES10? How many vehicle models we're going to have, man? Guys, we got some new leaked information from NIO CEO, some leaked conversation. This, to be honest, got me scratching my head and kind of like, whoa, really? Damn, okay. But first of all, I got featured in NIO's official video. And there I am in that video. If you haven't seen what it's all about, link is over here. Go check that out. You guys have to watch it. I guarantee that you will be very, very impressed. Okay? So let's talk about some of the cool stuff first. All right. So Jaylen Brown from Boston Celtics, he was actually in China, in Shanghai, and he went on an ET9. That's pretty cool. Definitely. Hopefully he talks to his friends and tells everybody about the ET9. Very, very nice. Now, here's another really funny clip. You don't have to wait for battery swap, and you can only cut in line if you're the police. And this is, of course, in Qingdao, and NIO has the police over there. They drive, NIOs, which is pretty cool. And of course, sometimes they can battery swap and, get back to the job quickly, which is very, very nice. So now let's move on to the leaked conversation. What is going on? We know for a fact that the ES8 will launch in just a few days on the 21st. And there's already videos of that going on around. They have official promo videos and that kind of stuff. And NIO CEO, in this leaked convo, said that the ES8 will not have one of those extendable footrests outside the car that allows you to get into the car easily, like the Envoy L90 has. The ES8 doesn't have it, probably because it doesn't need it, because it has that ET9 hydraulic suspension that can lower the car substantially. So, there's no need for that. But he said that the ES9 will have it. And what? ES9? Wait a second. Did I see that correctly? He said the ES9 will have it? That means they're going to launch the ES8, which is going to be a flagship premium SUV. And then there's going to be the ES9, which is more flagship premium SUV. Okay. Aren't they fighting for the same market share, so to speak? But here's how I think it could possibly work out. Because according to some other general managers, all right, in NIO, the ES8 will actually be like, the price-wise, it's not going to be more expensive, all right? It's not going to be more expensive. And apparently there's going to be a surprise, a big shocker when it comes to the seat for the driver. So apparently the driver's seat is going to get some big upgrade. Not too sure what that implies. Is it going to be like some crazy, crazy massage that's like, puts you on cloud 9 or something? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. We'll have to wait until the launch on the 21st to see what that's all about. But this kind of tells you that, yes, there will be an even more expensive SUV, the ES9. And this begs the question, are they making a mistake by launching another SUV? Because if you think about it, if it comes to premium expensive SUV, maybe having one car is enough. And then if you launch another car, you're kind of fighting for the same customer base, so to speak, in a sense, right? And you're going to create cannibalization. And this kind of gives me nightmares, like what's happening with the ES7. And if you guys don't know, and guys, I know you guys might not like it when I say this, I present information the way it is, okay? If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I don't sugarcoat it. So the ES7, honestly, nobody's buying it, okay? Right now, they even stopped making it. They stopped selling it. They sold 0 ES7s in the month of July. They sold 0 ES7s in the month of June. They sold 3 ES7s in the month of May. Yeah, only 3. Of course, it's kind of like the product is, outshined by the ES8 or even the ES6, right? The ES6 had better seats and ADB headlights, right? Even though the ES7 had air suspension, but you were missing some of these features. And then the ES8, of course, much more comfortable, much larger heads-up display, ADB headlights, extreme comfort. So nobody would buy the ES7, and it's just a fact. It's just a matter of fact. So, a lot of investors have complained that is NIO having like too many models? You have so many vehicle models, right? Right now, it's like, man, I gotta even count to count how many vehicle models they have. Whereas Tesla, they only have a few, right? They have like S and X for the premium, and then Cybertruck, and then Y and 3, basically 5, right? I'm not counting anything like Cybercab or something like that. But that's 5, whereas NIO, you have, let's start off with the cheaper one. You have the Firefly, and then you have the L60, the L90, very soon L80, but we're not going to count that. So that's already 3, and then you move on to the NIO brand. You have the ET5, ET5T, right? ES6, EC6, okay, that's 7 already. And then you move on to the 7, you have the ES7, ES7, ET7, that's 10. And then you have the ES8 and the ET9. So that's 12. So right now, 12 vehicle models, not counting things that's coming soon. So, a lot of people have been saying, man, why? So that does kind of ask the question, are they making a big mistake here, so to speak? And I understand NIO CEO's perspective about this is when you come to the top price category, you have to offer more personalized options. Like you got to be able to suit the boss's taste, so to speak. But you have a situation where I think if it gets to that price point, it's kind of a, why not just have like an ES8, but then you have the premium version of the ES8 instead of having the ES9. And I think the best logical argument that we can have for why this move is going to happen is that the ES8 will be sort of like almost like an MPV, but the top tier flagship SUV for NIO for large families. Okay, so if you have a big family, you want like the NIO brand luxuriousness, best of the best. Frunk, it's gonna have a frunk for sure, and a lot of cool features. You buy that car, and then ES9 is gonna be for like if you're a CEO or the boss or you're like super rich, and that kind of stuff. You need like be super private about your life, and that kind of stuff. You go for the ES9. So that's kind of how I see things that are shaping out. So this is pretty like shocker news. There's going to be ES9 as well. In the meantime, we're still waiting for them to update the ES6 and ET5 and ET5T to the 3.0 platform. Sales for NIO brand haven't been going that well, okay? We have to say thanks to Envo, because Envo L90, the trendiness of that and people discussing that has really brought in more customer traffic into the NIO stores. People asking about the Envo L90, and then they're checking out the NIO, and then the NIO sales reps are like, wait, don't leave yet. Let me tell you the price. It's not as expensive as before. There's massive discounts, massive battery swap vouchers, and a buy 2 get 1 free. All this great stuff. Oh, customers like, oh damn! I thought NIO was like super expensive. Then they buy a NIO. But sales haven't been doing too well for NIO brand in general, because people do want like NT 3.0 car, right? And the ES8 will be the first SUV to fully offer the NT 3.0 experience after the ET9. Okay, so yeah, I think the priority should be to get the ET5, ET5T, ES6, EC6 all these cars onto the NT 3.0 platform with the newer 900 volt batteries ASAP, because yeah, well, the sales speak for themselves. Okay, and I hate to say it, the sales reps have told me the product competitiveness is just not exactly there. They have to compete with using price. Right? The car is not 900 volt compared to Envoy L90, which is 900 volt. So man, it is what it is, right? So bombshell news: ES9. Yeah, that's gonna be the new ET9 equivalent of a SUV, basically. So very, very interesting. And I look forward to the ES8. I look forward to the surprises that the ES8 will offer. Hopefully it's going to be just a banger of a car, and I'm sure it will be just such a fantastic car. Lots of people will be buying the ES8, and yeah, it's going to be nice. It's going to be more affordable for sure. It's going to be cheaper than ET9 for sure. So that's going to be nice. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.